Shoulder up. Hand gestures. Facial expression. Give them. Go.
Everybody has low moments. There have been low moments, but it's just not staying down in those low moments. So,
a lot of things like that are very foundational. Even with tenses, when I see people fighting on Twitter and their tenses are bad, I'm like, your parents did not try.
You should follow, like, follow, pass.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is something a lot of people requested for. I'm here with greatness. I'm here with a beauty. I'm here with all in all a talent. You know, I was thinking about it this morning, and this person that I'm with today, when God was creating her, he added acting, and then he looked and said, no, acting won't be enough for such a pretty lady like this. So he added singing, and he said singing will be enough. So he added dancing, said still wouldn't be enough, added comedy, just kept adding, and God blessed this human being. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Queen Bee, Bisola Aiyeola.
Wash me, dear. Wow, how you doing?
I'm very
This has been a long time coming.
Yeah,
Well done.
Super excited to be here.
Thank you for having me.
So how have you been? How's 2022 been for you?
2022 has been good. Filled with lots of work. Lots and lots of work. Lots and lots of work, but it's been good. It's been good so far.
But you took out time to relax, you know, your trip.
It was not enough. It was not enough. That trip was too short, just 2 weeks and some days. I had to come back because of work as well.
No, but we're seeing the effect on your skin.
No, the skin I've always tried. The skin I've tried since, because as soon as I landed Lagos, all the abroadness, it left my body the second day. It left the second day, but you know, 2022 has been good. There have been low moments. Everybody has low moments. There have been low moments, but it's just not staying down in those low moments. So I'm grateful to God. 2022 has been good. You say we should always speak positive. So 2022 has been good. Has been good.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've heard a lot about Queen Bee. We've heard your story, all the ups and downs. You know, trying out for Big Brother 4 times.
No, so it wasn't 4 times. It was over the course of 7 years, because before it came to Big Brother Nigeria, I had been auditioning for it over the years. I think one particular audition was shortly after I had my daughter, and then I didn't get into the house until my daughter was 7 years old. So it was over the course of and it was Big Brother Africa. Before Nigeria came. So it was the second time it came to Nigeria was when I was able to get into the house. First I was when Ibuka season, where Khartoum won. And then the next time it came back to Nigeria was 10 years after. And that was the one I eventually was able to get into.
Will all housemates please gather in the garden immediately? Big Brother would like to congratulate all of you for making it into the Big Brother Niger house.
Please don't do it.
Housemate, the Big Brother house has been infringed upon. Bisola, Big Brother finds you guilty of a very grievous offense. You have 60 seconds to do what Big Brother expects you to do. Before you do that, all housemates, please focus their attention on the TV screen.
But she's hurt and you are equally hurt by what she said. That I understand.
I'm not hurt.
I'm not hurt.
Okay,
I am irritated.
There's
a difference.
Now you're irritated.
I'm not irritated.
It's gone.
I said I am irritated.
There's no point dwelling on it. For
Please,
me, there's
let's
no point dwelling
move on.
it.
I am sorry if we do not apologize to each other.
I'm not apologize to
then,
nothing.
we should
Because
as
I'm
well-
not do nothing to nobody.
Apart from raise
All
your
I
voice
said-
and scream and be
All I
aggressive.
said was, no chop now.
Next thing, Bisola is aggressive
Guys.
as always.
If I'm right, it was 10 years after. I think, yeah.
But what kept you motivated? What kept you going? Because your story, when I heard it on Timisan's podcast,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was feeling for you because you eventually turned
Yeah,
out so well, but
yeah.
I could feel the pain of the past.
Yeah, there's a lot of pain, but like I always say, it always just makes your story sweeter. Right, you know, not everybody has it rosy, not everybody has it easy. There are definitely people in the world who have never had to struggle to find a meal and stuff like that. I'm not one of those people, you know. What kept me motivated, what kept me going? I'd say hope that there were better days ahead, and hope is a very strong thing, you know. It literally keeps people alive, you know. When there's hope, you just feel like I can do it. You keep being motivated. You know, I would live in a better place. I would be able to afford what I want to eat. I would be able to look better. I would be able to help other people. So I take the hope, then my reality, which was I was a parent and I needed to look after my kid. So you cannot relax. You cannot relax. You can't. So all of those things, all of those factors.
But then that wants to make you do something else, knowing that, because acting is, I won't say it's an unpredictable occupation. You don't really know when the next gig is coming or something when you're just starting out. So did that make you say, oh, why don't I try to do a 9 to 5 so I can have stable income for my daughter and then maybe try this later? How did you
So that definitely happened. One of the challenges in the course of my life was that I was also trying to get into university, and it's not like I wasn't passing my examinations. I was passing, but we just didn't have the funds to pay fees. So in all of that time, you know, I had done different kinds of jobs. I have worked as a personal assistant before. I worked as a waitress in fast food business. I had tried a business out with my friend. I had sold food, you know, with my friend. And even in the course of us selling food, there were different things we tried. We tried selling pomo, it didn't work. We tried selling smoothies, it didn't work. We actually now started catering. We sold chin chin, you know, like different things, you know, just two young girls, Ijoma Daisy. She runs a blog called Ijoma Daisy. So she's the one. I tried a lot of that out with her. I eventually started working as a TV presenter on a show called Billboard Nigeria. I did that for a few years and then progressed to all the while in between all of this, there's auditions, there's acting, but it's not like I was having like the major acting gigs, acting roles, you know. It's one waka pass here or there, you know. I also eventually worked on radio. Radio, I auditioned to be an OAP, and then I later progressed into being, I got the gig, I got the job, and then I later progressed to being the head of programs for that station, WFM. But I didn't, you know, the acting just kept pulling me back. Like, you know what, this is what I can do, and this is, you know how they say work is fun when you love what you do. That's the case with acting for me, and it's a natural talent. I've also had to learn on the job, because it's not like I went to some school for it. So I've learned on the job, learned from older colleagues, learned from the crew, everyone around me basically, and that also helped. So in between all of this, I was getting jobs, but still struggling to see if, I could get my big break in film.
Wow. So what would you say your big break was?
What was my big break in film? Oof. Let me see. I don't know when you've done. Okay, so I wouldn't particularly call or say I did some roles, some really good roles. I would say I got better opportunities with African Magic Original Films. They had this African Magic Original Film thing they were doing some years ago. AMOF is what we used to call it. And on there, they just gave upcoming actors more visibility, you know. So I wouldn't call it a big break per se. I think my major big break was probably after Big Brother, but before that I had still done other stuff. I was on Husbands of Lagos. I had done Ovi's Voice. I had done Picture Perfect, and I had acted in quite a few films and people started knowing me because I used to make skits as well. I used to do a lot of skits on Instagram. So it was from there, you know, I started having like a little following, do a skit, other blogs would pick it up, and I had a bit of following from that as well. So a lot of people kind of sort of knew me from those skits and from older movies I had done. And even before that, because I was also on MTN Project Fame West Africa, this was in 2008. Yes, in 2008.
Right, doing Roxette's It Must Have Been Love from the film Pretty Woman. Please welcome on stage, Bisola.
Lay a whisper on my pillow. Leave the winter on the ground. I wake up lonely. There's air of silence in the bedroom and all around. Touch me now. I close my eyes and dream.
So people had also known that, oh, okay, this girl, she's talented, she sings, she does all of this. So they had known me from that as well, yeah.
That's really impressive. Like,
It's a long journey.
I don't know if I'm allowed to call you Jack of all trade.
Jacqueline.
You've done almost.
You can call me Jacqueline. Yeah.
So, but along the line of your career, with all the wonderful things you've done, I was in a conversation with some people just last week, and then your name came up, Kenny Bankoni came up,
Yeah.
and they spoke about you two, about being versatile. You two and some other female actors are like the only few people who haven't been stereotyped or stereocasted, rather better words, to a particular role or something. So how are you able to do that? Was that a conscious effort or it was just coincidental?
I'd say it's probably a combination of both. Here's another thing. I don't think any actor wants to be stereocasted as that particular, that's the only thing they know how to do. But the Nigerian market also has a big role to play in that. Sometimes people don't want to see you as any other thing because you've done such a good job in portraying yourself as this character. So that's what they love to see. And again, it's a business. Whoever's hiring an actor is looking at, oh, they love you as this. I think you can duplicate this type of character in this role again. So let's look at it mostly from the business angle, you know, as opposed to the talent not being typecast or, you know, stereo casted. With a lot of people and with myself, I would say I used social media a lot to show other sides of me. So it's not just what you would see in a movie. I used to make funny videos of me. I would speak in different accents. I could be local, your local corn seller today. And tomorrow you think, oh, she's from England. Oh, is she American? You know, so, and at the same time, allowing people know that I sing. So I think that kind of helped. Now, with a lot of people, they probably actors now, some of them it's only their work they would like to put out there.
Yeah.
They won't want to share their personal lives. So sometimes it's until a filmmaker, producer, director decides to take a chance on them and says, okay, you know what, I think we've seen you enough as this. Can you play this differently? That's when they get a chance to showcase themselves differently. So it's more about the market sometimes as opposed to me making a conscious effort to be. I've just used the tools available to me to be able to show the world that there's more to me and there's more I can give. And I think it's very easy for me to just, it oozes naturally. So with that, people can, although I think these days, a lot of people they also want to typecast me as, oh, the girl that is always very, very funny, you bring her, she's going to play this role very, very well. But then again, other filmmakers have seen that, oh, whatever role that you throw at Bisola, she would be able to carry it well. So, but I think sometimes people just watch a certain movie and they expect, oh, it's Bisola, she's going to make me laugh. She's going to make me laugh. I'm a fun person, naturally. I love fun, but I wouldn't call myself a comedian, but I guess people, I wouldn't, but people kind of see that in me, and that's what's putting food on the table. So we will do it like that, So, yeah.
Yeah, so speaking about taking opportunities on you and all that, I watched your movie, or Kaede Kason's movie.
Yeah, This Lady Called Life.
I loved your
Thank
character.
you. Are you today?
Yeah. And then that song, your ringtone, because I believe that I sing that song because I believe it's like a form of encouragement. So,
uplifting.
How are you able to pick the projects that you would want to be on? What inspires you?
So most times that you get the script and you read the script, there's so many scripts that I have loved that I would love to be a part of. But so sometimes availability, I'm probably not just available to be able to do the gig and then you have to use all that. With This Lady Called Life, I fell in love with the story immediately, and I felt like it had fragments of my life in it. So I kind of took it personal. I was like, you know what, Kaede, I love this story. I believe you. I had worked with Kaede like a few times before we actually did This Lady Called Life, and I just thought, nah, we'll go all the way with this, and that was what we did. I went all out because of how I felt about the story, and I'm glad that a lot of people watched it and they could relate with it, and we told the story of thousands of women with that film, This Lady Called Life. So it reached out to me. As soon as I saw it, the thing just told me, Bisola, this is for you. And I also, because the name was very unique, Aye today, This Lady Called Life. Aye in Yoruba, as you know, is life. And my surname is Aiyeola. So I was like, was it deliberate? They were like, not necessarily. It wasn't deliberate because we just wanted to work with Aye today because of the title of the movie. But I connected with it immediately. Immediately I read the script and I fell in love. Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad you did, because you were amazing on that. I loved it so much. It was also very motivational and it encouraged me.
Thank you.
I might share a testimony with you when I'm done with this. So I also watched or stumbled on your Real Talk.
Yes, with Vanity TV, yes.
So you had a couple of actors together, and then you guys were talking about the industry.
Yeah.
And then you said something about click.
Yeah.
So I want to know how that has either affected your career or not. Do you, by any chance, coincidentally, non-coincidentally, belong to any clique?
I promise you I don't belong to any clique, which was what I was asking. Like, are there... And Jemima Jemima Sunday, she was like, oh yes, there are cliques. I don't know whether they don't see me fit to be any of the cliques, but I think it's more of a case where if I had a business and I had a friend, like I always like to go look at it as a business owner. Let's not attach any sentiments to it. As a business owner, if I was into construction and I had a friend who was good at construction, I would call on that friend, Sometimes they might give you some discounts based off of the friendship that you guys have. But I also believe that it's important that you don't always just, you can't do it all the time, right? You can't just use your friend because you are all like in this clique all the time, same thing. It'll become like the same pattern, and then people will get bored of it. So, as Joanna said, there are cliques. I am not in any clique, but I do believe that that is. Let's not use the word clique now. Let's use it networks. Let's use networks. Yeah. So because when we say it as clique, it comes up as negative, right? But why do people network? You network so that you can expand your own horizon and you get to meet more people. And once you are part of a certain network, it makes getting jobs and other things easier. So let's say it that way. Like it's more like a network of actors, even though they will still call it clique, but you know, we all need food. We all need to showcase our talent. If your friend is a filmmaker and feels like, oh, okay, yes, my guy, it will get bored eventually or boring eventually. But I think sometimes it's always that, let me help my next man first. You're my friend. This is an opportunity for me to put money in your pocket. And I think that you can do a good job. So let's do it. Okay, for this one, I think you'll sit this one out. I don't think you're good enough for it. Not that you're not a good actor, but not for this particular character that we have in mind. Excuse me, so we're gonna go with somebody else. But as always, you know now, we're all one big family and we can make this work in future. Yeah.
Wow, I'm learning a lot and I hope you guys are already. So when you were starting out, did you have like any role model, any mentors?
I didn't have any mentors, but I just used to watch a lot of people that I liked their lifestyle. Or I'm a huge fan of Rita Dominic. I love her so much. I love her privacy. I love how she has carried herself all through her years in the industry. I was opportune to meet her in 2017, and when she said hello to me, I wanted to die, literally. I had just come out of Big Brother, and I think it was at the premiere of Isoke. So I'm just standing, and then she taps me and says, hello, Bisola. I controlled myself not to cry, because I was, and so since then, every time she sees me, I've not really had the opportunity to be in her space and be like, oh, I want you to mentor me, but you know, she's still a mystery to me, and I love that mystery about her. And I love her because she's just her, you know, how she's managed to not have any scandals, how she's really private, you know, but she just shows you what she wants you to see, you know, so I really admire her. Regards learning some things about life, I would say when I was on Project Fame, Auntie Joke Silva, we call her Mommy J. We used to call her Mommy J back then on Project Fame. She used to give us like little nuggets on how to react, how to, after Project Fame, you know, she was schooling us on how we would behave in public. Now we had fans, and because that was actually my first hit with Fame. You know, she dropped a few things like, you know what, you should always have like a default smile. You never know whose day you're gonna make. You may, it's sometimes a burden because it's not every time I feel like smiling. Someone's upset me. So there are a few times I've snapped at a few people, not because they were being nasty, but just because I was not in a good mood. But you know, she kind of taught us, I can't forget that. You always have a default smile, you never know who's watching you. She took us on some acting lessons as well while we were on Project Fame. And I think that also helped me because it was after that I started acting, you know, on being able to emote properly. How you can use all of your features to tell a story sometimes without actually speaking, you know, because then Project Fame was for singers, right? And there's only so much you can do. You have a great voice. Sometimes you have a great voice, but you're not a great performer. To be a great performer, you have to be able to do all the theatrics and, you know, there's a way you speak to your crowd, with the way you move, with the way you look. So she taught us a bit of that. I'm not saying about being a dancer now, but you know, you can just stand in one spot and deliver and people will believe you and they'll be drawn in like, oh my God, all this, you know, stuff like that. So she did teach us a little bit about, you know, how we would behave in public, how we'd speak to people, how it was really important to not throw ourselves into unnecessary scandals, especially with questions. See, as you're giving me this interview now, if there's a question that you ask that even maybe offends me, I don't know how to answer it, it's okay to say you pass on it. You don't want to answer it. You don't always have to give an answer. You don't always have to. But a lot of people don't know that, you know. So she taught us. She taught us quite a lot, amongst so many other people that, you know, I've watched and admired over the years. Yeah, even people that are like my age mates, like my friends. Yeah.
Wow. Everyone I come across that is it in the industry always has something very nice to say about Auntie Jokes.
Yeah.
Well, she seems to be like a
real, yeah.
Wow. So now, how are you able to deal with? I don't know whether to call it negativity in the industry. Okay, maybe three of your friends plus you were auditioned for a role or something. Maybe one person gets it, or there's this project you just really want to be on or something, and you find out someone else gets it. How are you able to be happy for that person?
So this is natural with me. There are different people are built and wired differently. Your upbringing as well also tells a lot about you. I find it very difficult to be envious of the next man or the next woman. It's just not in my nature. I think it's a waste of emotions, you know, being envious of the next person when you can just work on your own self. And I also believe that everybody has their time. I haven't been envious of any of my friends at any point in time. I have wished to have been probably called for a job, but it's my friend that they called instead. So as opposed to being envious, I'll be happy for you. Like, okay, you got this one this time, maybe I'll get the next one the next time. So that in itself too opens more doors for you, because that's a positive mindset. Knowing that, yeah, you win some, you lose some. It's not every time everything will be falling into place for you. It is also good because sometimes when you fail at something, how do you react? You know, how does that shape you? How does it make you relate to the next person? I've never been... Envy is not in my DNA. Envy is not in my DNA, but we're all wired differently. Some people are just built to be like that, you know, and they wouldn't focus their energies on themselves. They are busy looking at what every other person is doing and then losing out on the beautiful things that they could have created for themselves. So I would say, me, nah. If my next babe, next guy gets a job that I've been running for or looking for, I'll be happy for you. Like, okay, pay me, say I don't get that this time, but man, do a good job. I trust you can do it. Next one, I may go collect, I mean, stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. You have this. You have a good spirit, and I really do appreciate it. I like that actually.
Thanks so much.
Wow.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm really learning and really loving this so much. So how are you able to? You said there's been a downtime.
Yeah, several downtimes.
So how are you able to not project that on your social media?
So there's one thing I always say. I have made a conscious effort to be happy. It's not easy, but it's a lot of work. Now, everything that you project, everything that you do has an effect. It could be an effect on you, it could be an effect on the next person. If you drive crazy on the road, it would affect other road users. You know, you drive crazy, have an accident, it can affect people for hours on end. Do you understand? And that's just you in your moment of recklessness. You don't know, you have no clue that what the ripple effects that it would do, but it would happen. So social media is supposed to just be a happy spot where you share good. It's supposed to be like a feel-good thing.
Yeah.
It's not made for sadness. It's sad that a lot of people use it for other motives, right? You know, but it's supposed to be some feel-good space. Like, okay, let's use this platform to help other people. Let's help use this platform to put smiles on other people's faces. I do share once in a while that, oh yeah, I get sad. It's not like I'm always rosy and all of that. But I already know that there are 1,001 people that are going through a lot of personal struggles.
Yeah.
Why then do I want to laden them with my own troubles when I can deal with my problems on my own, feel good, and then you know what? Let me be that person that's going to make you smile today. Because I've really gotten countless messages where people just say, you know, Bisola, every time I'm sad, I just go to your page and I'm happy.
Wow.
You know, just random. Oh, Bisola, I was so angry on Saturday, but I just watched your movie and you lifted my spirits. So you see, if that is my own little way of giving back to the society, right, I would rather do that as opposed to bring them into that my horrible state of mind of being worried about things not going my way. Because it's really not a beautiful place, you know, being in a dark hole, a dark space mentally. You know, it's not a beautiful place to be, you know, and sometimes when you dwell in it, revel in it, you keep sinking deeper and deeper and leaving the light. So one of the things I've always said is that, you know, Bisola, you do your best to be happy, take one day at a time. You win some, you lose some. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, you move on. Life is not that deep, life is not that hard. And I try, it's a conscious effort to exude that to people that seem like, you know what, life is not too hard, don't take life too seriously, just be happy with whatever you have, just be happy. Yeah.
So I going back to this lady called Life and Breaded Life.
Yeah.
Also amazing character.
Thank you.
How are you able to prep for your characters and become?
So I would first of all say it's the talent to be able to mimic voices and things. And I think also my childhood played a big role in that, because myself and my cousins, we used to watch a lot of cartoons, mimic a lot of people, mimic a lot of neighbors. So I think it just kind of stuck with me. When given a role and they give you the character Bible, and then you speak to the director and ask, okay, this is how you want it to go. You just have to make yourself, like, for me, it may not be as easy for other people, but for me, it's not so difficult to just switch into that. I literally will probably be talking like that character for the rest till I start that project, you know, because this is me being that character. So with Antagi, all through the set, I was talking with accents, right? You go, hey, yeah, why are you here? What are you going to do? You know, like, I just wanted to, so that it's sustained all through the film. Different characters, even when I played Bissy in Dinner at My Place, same thing, yeah. She was so annoying, by the way. So, you know, I asked the director, can I use the squeaky voice to, you know, do this? And he was like, oh yeah, sure, by all means. We did that, and a lot of people received that very well as well. So I think once you get the character Bible, you've spoken to the director, and they've told you the angle with which you want to approach the project. Yeah. It's left to you to, you know, let me make myself as believable as possible. So that when the next man is watching, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you literally remind me of one auntie or one sister or one friend of mine. I think that's then your job is done. Your job is done.
Yeah. So my last question for you on this segment before we just chip in one or two games, if that's cool with you. We're Christians, right?
Yes.
So I told you I had like a testimony to share, but I would eventually share that after. But when I was going into what I'm doing currently, I received some messages from some people telling me, now you're in that industry where you be kissing other people's wives, you know, doing all those things. Children of God don't do all those things, blah blah blah. And it got to me because I mean that's my job. That's what I'm paid to do. So what do you think, and how do you think as a Christian we should be able to balance our religion with work, or do you think they shouldn't interfere? Because it's really very challenging.
Interesting question. So first off, who are you serving? God. You have a relationship with God first. You're a child of God, which makes you a God in your own rights, right? a lot of people project their own fears and insecurities on other people. Now you're in an industry that many would love to be part of, but because of what would people say? What would people say? They're not going to do it. And now that they see you have taken that bold step to do it, the next thing they will do is to condemn it, make you feel guilty for what you're doing. But you know deep down in your heart that you're not lusting after this co-actor of yours, that okay, you want to kiss this person. It's literally a job. What we do is make believe, right? I'm not saying that no human feelings cannot be, grown from what you do, but that also depends on what you allow. There are so many men and women of God, children of God, that are tempted on a daily. It is how strong your faith is with God that would help you resist temptation. It's not about who you kiss on screen. And it makes me laugh how people just say, hey, you're kissing this thing. On a film set, you literally would have a minimum of 20 people right behind the camera when you're doing whatever make-out scene it is that you're doing. Eventually, as you grow older, you can decide that, you know what, I don't even want to kiss anybody because of health reasons. Like for me now, maybe because of COVID. Since COVID came, I don't know where your mouth has gone to. I don't know who it is you have kissed, whether you just kissed a COVID person and then now we now exchange kidney. Already something, talking close to people, you say you cannot talk close, you have to wear your mask. Because the COVID times really opened my eyes to how fast germs spread. And think back from days, maybe you just entered bus and came back home, you were fine when you left the house, but you get home now, you have a cold, you are coughing. You probably touched one door handle, one door seat, and then rubbed your face, not knowing you've packed germs. So with health reasons now, you're like, nah, I'm not about to share, nah, So there's that. But you know what it is that you are the only one who truly knows who you are, not the next man. And you shouldn't let other people's thoughts of you influence you. You are responsible for what you do, not for how people receive you or what they think. If you start giving yourself the trouble of trying to pacify every single human being in the world, my dear, you will break down. Because what you are doing is you are taking up other people's problems and wearing it on your own head. Things that don't concern you. You know yourself, you know your job. You know that it is work, strictly work. And how often, Seth, do you even get those kissing roles, Seth? How often? We talk go, we talk come. Many of these films that we do, aside it being entertainment, majority of them, a huge percentage of them, usually end, with a good moral note. Yeah. Okay, why you should not be bad, why you should be a good man, how your goodness can do this, how being bad will bring karma back to you, and how your evil deeds will never go unpunished, and all of those things. So there's always like a lesson at the end of so many stories. Like, don't do this because of this. There's always one repercussion or the other. But as an actor, if this is what you truly enjoy, if this is what you truly love, if this is what you believe you've been called to do, now God put the talent there. The brain that people use to be able to study God, not everybody has it. If everyone had the ability to understand the scripture like pastors, we wouldn't have congregations going to church.
Every man will be a pastor.
Every man will be a pastor for himself. Do you understand? But God has bestowed that gift on individuals. It's a gift, first off. Look at it, it's a gift. It's a talent. And because God is so vast, God is so intelligent, He sprinkled it around for everybody. You see, scientists, a lot of people go against, science is this, science is that. But I look at it and I'm like, I've sat down with friends and I have marveled and I'm like, God, you can show off, because how do you get a scientist or some individual to think of, I should be able to fly in the air one fine day, and then somehow you create a plane? Why is this bird staying up there? How is it able to soar? And then you as a man, you decide, and then you create airplanes that would carry hundreds of people from one location to another location for hours. If not be magic, Do you understand? So it's the intelligence of God and how vast and brilliant He is that He sprinkled all over to every single person. My singing ability, not be saying I'm missing pass for this world, but it's God that gave me. For every single talent that you mentioned that I have, it's not like I'm the best of the best in the whole world, but God gave me, and I'm glad I'm using that to at least spread the word in some way or the other. Like I told you, some people woke up to me and tell me that, it's like, I watched a movie and I felt so good. This lady called Life touched me. Oh, because of you, I'm going to call my mother. Oh, because of you, I'm going to call my stepmother. I have helped bond relationships. And this is me unknowing. I'm just doing what God gave me the skill to do through my producers, through the writers. They've come. Let's do it. You just put it out there and see what it is doing. So imagine if I had such a talent and I decide, then talk and not hide your light under a bushel. Don't. And don't feel guilty for the gift God has given you. He says He will take it back. He will take it back. And then you will be left living in regret. So for everything that we have done, look, there is no, be you that you are a Christian, that you are not, you are acting, be you in any field whatsoever. If you have an outrageous dream, an outrageous vision, if you have the audacity to push something, there would always be the naysayers. There will always be people that will tell you, no, you can't do it, until you make them a believer. Until then, you'll be shocked at how many people eventually say you now finally have this big break that you want, and everyone, Victor, hey, bye. And I could have started out with Victor at the same time. What they don't know is that you've built years of experience. It didn't happen overnight. It's years of work. That's what a lot of people don't know as well. They may see you now tomorrow, next big thing. Hey, how? Where did you come from? Where did you come from? You didn't know my story. When I was doing YouTube videos, interviewing guys, interviewing this, going for auditions, y'all said no. Y'all said I was doing nonsense and rubbish. Yeah. But look at me now. Jonathan, my journey did not start today. There are many people that are just finding me today, and then I'm wondering, who is this girl? Where did she come from? Hello, my journey started years ago. But it's just manifesting now. Like now is when God has decided that my hand is up on you. Show off. Yeah. Let me show you up. So never feel discouraged. You are a Christian. Yes, the ways of the world may derail you. Me. But that's why I said, who are you? Who do you believe in? Who do you worship? It's God. That relationship with God, if it's something you constantly ask Him for, He won't deny you. He won't deny you. If you constantly say, Father Lord, I just want to keep having this relationship with you. Give me the strength, give me the capacity to be able to manage this. I don't want to get carried away. It's a conscious effort. Look, you cannot let, there are people who get carried away with stuff like this. They get carried away with the world. Yeah. And when the world don't carry them, go finish, and then they don't mess up, they don't remember that, I have a father somewhere. But if you constantly call God into every sphere of your life, every step that you take, He will not leave you alone. He'll be there, He will guide you. People have asked me, so how do you manage to stay out of trouble? I say it's not me, it's God. Because sometimes I say, Baba, I don't like trouble. Father Lord, please, anywhere there is trouble, just pull me away from there. It's not my power, it's not my mind, it's God and His angels that are guiding me. I don't know how He does it, but God just does it. And it doesn't mean that even with all of this that I cannot still be tempted or the devil cannot come and try. But even though the devil tries and may succeed, I will not stay down there. Yeah. Do you understand? That is why I'm first human. That is why I'm first human. We make mistakes. No human being on this surface of this earth is perfect. Do you understand? So don't let anybody's fears about this industry that you're going in. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Yeah, if you're a bad person, shikena. There's no long talk. If you are bad, you are bad. If you are good, you are good. You are bad. There is no amount of church you will go to. You will remain that bad. It's who you are. It's not what you do that will now help it come out. Like how they say, hey, now you do it now. From the onset, you were this. You just didn't have the opportunity to show it. That's why. So don't let anybody make you feel guilty or feel bad for being in this space.
Thank you so much for that. I won't. won't let anyone project their fears on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I that was supposed to be my last question, but I remember every question I've asked every person I've interviewed. I've asked that Ikede is beyond on feelings. So I was watching this Instagram live. This is the final question. So I was watching this Instagram live, and this actor, she's been on Tintle. I don't want to mention names, but she's been on stuff. And she was talking about the fact that she went for a casting, private screening, or whatever they call it. And the only question the director asked her was, or producer asked her was, how many followers do you have? Okay. And that was an eliminating factor for her on that movie or show. So my question is, if directors or producers these days are working with how many followers you have and all that, who then gives us the opportunity to get the followers that they require? Or what do we do to build the numbers? Honestly, it's confusing.
So don't let it confuse you. It's not rocket science. That producer, that filmmaker is a businessman first off. A businessman wants to pump money where he believes he'll get his returns. You don't know where he has gotten investors from. You don't know how many people are breathing down his neck for money. So he needs to be sure that you have got the numbers to draw people out to come and watch this movie. Not because you're not a good actor. So first, let's rule that out. A lot of people always try to fault producers for asking, or filmmakers for asking those questions. I used to be in that boat, but when I eventually understood or realized that, look, he's a businessman. We talk. It's not because they love me that they want to give me work. They have checked and have seen that, okay, she has numbers, she has the skill, she can bring people out, she can make my story believable enough for people to want to watch this thing. Let's work with that. It's business, strictly business. Nobody should take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's strictly business. Now, for the next man and next woman, you would have to probably put in the work to build your content, to build your following, which, like I said I used to make skits. So you just need to see that the producers are just strictly for business. It's not anything personal at all. They just want to ensure that, this money I'm pumping in, I can get it back out. Now, it's not left for other actors. I know it may sound really absurd, but it's the times that we're in. It's the times we're in. Information is moving really, really fast. Content. Everybody's creating content for their business, just even regular content for themselves. Followers. They want to be posted. You can see that even Instagram is telling you that, hey, now you cannot post. If you post picture, you're not going to get more engagement. You now have to be doing reels, and it's crazy, but it has now become a necessity, right? And if you don't move with the times, you'll get left behind, and nobody wants that. So it has literally forced a lot of people who are usually just in their shell. This, you know me for this, my character. I'm not, like I said, everything has its advantages, has its disadvantages. For so many people, social media is like their own personal PR company. They are running themselves, they are creating content, people are seeing, they are getting more followers, it's growing with that, more brands are seeing them and all. For some who are really reserved, private, it's like, I'm a fish out of water. What do you create this content for what? This is not me, this is how. So you just need to, it's about moving with the times. I don't think anyone should take it personal, but this is what we are seeing now. And why, if you want to stay relevant, if you want to keep surviving and keep making the money, you may have to just start tweaking and adjusting to these times that we're in. Yeah.
Wow. So, your advice to upcoming actors?
My advice to upcoming actors would be, start making the little content that you can by yourself, for yourself, with your little community of WhatsApp friends. Ask them to share your stuff. It may not be great at first, but with constant practice, you get better each time. And with you getting better each time, you are learning how to do so many things, getting better at it. People get to see what you are doing. Oh, this person has actually upgraded from this to this. And it's a very broad field. Many people just think that, just being an actor is the ultimate thing. There's so much to do even behind the scenes where you can be very successful. at it, and until you try and start, you may not find where your strengths are. So give it a shot. Don't rule it out completely. Start making little content that you can for yourself. Play with all the characters if you have to. You know, it'll be difficult maybe, but you are learning on the job. That if there's one thing about me, there are so many things I learned on my own. I learned how to edit jingles. While I worked on radio, because my boss at the time really wanted us to be self-sufficient. She didn't want to hire too many hands. She wanted us to be able to do so many things by ourselves. So I had to learn how to record, cut, how to make it lay music, how all of those things. And they helped when I eventually started, like, I can edit my YouTube videos myself. I work with Premiere Pro and Final Cut as well. So I have an idea of all those things. When if I go and meet an editor, no, do this and this, I can tell him how I want it to be because I have an idea of it. So it's important that you empower yourself to know knowledge is lost. You don't wait on when they'll call me. No, you got to put yourself out there, because what is happening is those that are putting themselves out there, who are probably not even as talented, half as talented as you, are the ones being seen and being chosen. So there's no need to sit down and sleep on anything. Do the work, you get the job. Yeah.
You've heard it from the Queen Bee, the most super talented.
You watch me.
Super funny. Thank you so much, Auntie Bisola.
Yes, this has been a long time coming. Like, he's been trying to get me in this chair for this interview for the longest time. So like when he sent me a message, I was like, nah, dude, this is so long. I'm so sorry. I have also been very occupied and up and down. And sometimes you just forget that there's something pending. Too many things. We are trying to make our daily 2K. Daily 2K, yes.
Thank you so much. So we'll just go for like a round of games, very short time.
No problem.
Okay. Alright guys, welcome back to the next segment. It's just with me and my wonderful auntie here playing pool. Alright, let's see.
I can do better than that. Wait first. What did you mean? It's called this cue stick is nonsense. Let me try again.
Okay.
Make I don't break our
Now imagine you're a bus driver. God forbid, but just imagine you're a bus driver. And in this bus, only 10 people can enter your bus.
Okay.
So when you get to the first bus stop, 5 people get in.
Okay.
When you get to the next bus stop, 3 people get out. So when you get to the final destination, 2 people get in. What do you think the color of the bus driver's shirt is?
I didn't get the setting.
Okay. So imagine you're a bus driver, okay? And in this bus, only 10 people can get into the bus. So when you get to the first bus stop, 5 people get into the bus. When you get to the next bus stop or the second bus stop, 3 people get out. So when you get to the final destination or the final bus stop before the destination, 2 people get in. What do you think the color of the bus driver's shirt is?
What do I think the color is?
Oh yeah, what the bus driver's shirt is?
Because I'm imagining it can be any color now. Black, blue, green.
No, not really, but I'll let you know the answer. So I said imagine you are the bus driver. So you are the bus driver. So the color of the shirt happens to be the color of shirt or that you have on.
Like right now.
Right now.
My shit. You don't have respect.
Because you are the.
Imagine. Yeah. Okay. That's why I said I could be any. I can imagine any color. I can imagine any color, please.
Okay, so I would like you to repeat these words after me very fast.
Oh God.
If SWI is sweet, say sweet.
Sweet.
What's SWA?
SWA.
Yeah, what's it? I have to pronounce it, but fast.
Sweet.
SWA, swa.
Swa.
Swa. So what's TWI?
Tweet.
TWO.
2.
Oh, she got it. She got it.
Okay, let's say 2.
Yeah. Oh, no, she got it.
Oh my gosh.
She's good.
Okay, well, that TWO 2 now. I would say 2.
A couple of people said 2. Wow.
I tried now. So I got one.
You go.
I got one.
So the final one would be. It's not really okay. There are two questions left. Okay, we've done 2 questions. So I have maybe would I call it dares, not necessarily dares for you to do, but the first one would be like right now, could you because I'm trying to build my network and my quality of my Instagram page. By any chance, mind following me back on Instagram right here in front of
Small now. My phone is not with me.
the camera?
Can I get my phone?
Yeah,
please?
you can.
So wait till you. Instagram.
Yes.
Kinobi.
Underscore Lafinhan.
Underscore.
Lafinhan.
LAFINHAN. YouTuber, content creator, passionate about acting.
Okay, so this one came from my audience, not me. It came from my audience members. They said they wanted to see Bisola partake in any TikTok challenge.
One leg. Now if you go to a party and everybody's dancing, you know you can't dance. Let's jump to the dance floor. One leg like this. Bounce it. See? Bounce it. Go, bounce it. Now you know African dance, you have to go down low, shoulder up, hand gestures, facial expression. Give them. Go. One leg.
Thank you so much. This means the world to me that you were able to do this for me. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Bisola. Thank you to Temple. Thank you so much. Do you have any final words to?
Final words. Stay true to yourself. The sky is definitely the starting point. Believe in yourself and your dreams will come true.
Amen. Thank you so much. Alright guys, you heard it from the Queen Bee herself. Please remember to subscribe, follow everything that you normally do on social media, like, share with your people. Thank you so much, Ms. Bisola.
See how he's telling you, people should follow, like, subscribe, like, follow, hey, pass.